In recent years, integrating social impact considerations into a firm's strategic planning and growth initiative has become increasingly imperative. Aligning corporate values with a commitment to positive social impact can not only serve to benefit society, but also contribute to the achievement of the organization's financial objectives. My guest, Olaotan Fawemi, is a dynamic professional with a tenacious commitment to excellence and innovation. With a rich background in media and marketing communications, he has gained extensive expertise in public relations, e-commerce, media, hospitality, and NGOs. Olaotan's journey is marked by bold decisions and transformative leaps, which are evident in his transition from the construction world to the dynamic communication industry. Over time, he has excelled in developing brand strategies, managing campaigns, and producing compelling content for renowned brands such as Asus, Konga, Jameson, Stanbic IBTC, MasterCard Foundation, White and McKay Scotch Whiskies, and Clarence Dillon Wines, among others. Beyond his professional endeavors, Olaotan is deeply committed to empowering teenagers and youth. Now, for over the years, he has dedicated his time to consistently training hundreds of teenagers on self-discovery, fulfillment, and actualization. He advocates for nurturing young minds to unlock their full potential. Many thanks for joining me, Olaotan, on Business Insight.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right,
it's always a pleasure to be here.
It is always a pleasure to have you, because most times I read your profile like, okay.
Like I always say, we're just getting started.
Yes, the sky is just a starting point. There's so much to be achieved in this world.
Right.
Now, social impact, we tended doing business with humanity. Let's talk about it, really, because most people just feel that you have to be a multinational, you have to be a blue chip company before you can even consider the social aspect of business. But then you feel that this shouldn't be the case.
Absolutely not. That shouldn't be the case. More than ever before, the need to be socially responsible has come to the fore. Globally, in Africa, and most importantly in Nigeria. You know what the economy is saying. It's now critical that you're not just thinking about doing business and making profits. You just want to go into business. So like I said earlier, you have 5 million, and the first thought on your mind is, how do I turn this to 50 million? And then if that's the foundation of whatever it is you're doing, you're going to be running every day, driving people, driving the community, driving your customers, driving your employees to achieve that. The only thing you'll be thinking of is it's like gambling. Okay. So you're desperate and you're thinking about how to just double this money or triple this money or make it or put it in the four places. Okay. All right. And then if you start a business like that or run a business like that, we tend to lose the most important part of doing business, which is the human part of it. Okay. So it's very, like I said earlier, it's very critical that right now we're looking at how can we do business beyond making profits? How can we do business with humanity? Of course, we have businesses who understand these things, and that's why globally you see that ESG is becoming it's in our faces. It's not an option anymore. It's what you have to pay attention to. And I must say this. I'm speaking here not necessarily for the big businesses or big industries, even young people who want to venture into businesses. You want to start that small business and begin to serve people around you. You're not thinking, most times we're not thinking of what value are we bringing to people. Value addition to people or to the community. We're always thinking, okay, I want to start a business, especially when somebody else is doing it and somebody is telling you that, oh, this is what I'm making every month.
So much to be made out of it.
So much to be made out of it. And then you're thinking, okay, fine, I have this small money, I can put it into this and I can make this. That's usually the first thing in the minds of young people when they want to start a business. Okay. But here I am saying that there has to be a shift in the mindset. There has to be a paradigm shift to say that when you're going into a business, or if you already have an existing business you're trying to scale, the first question is what value
am I adding
am
or
I
bringing
bringing
to the table?
To the table.
Okay, but Ola, this is really very exciting.
Right.
Although most people were like, now, but the economy of the country, even, meeting the bottom line and everything is hard these days.
Right.
But then I'm sure there's a place, a starting point, even the smallest of businesses can.
Yes.
So we'll talk about the human aspect of, or humanity aspect of business. So do we just consider just the external people or internal as well?
It cuts across.
Okay.
So there are 3 buckets that you have to look at. No matter the level of business you're doing, if you're already a multinational or you're just starting out or you're in the middle, wherever you are, there are 3 buckets you must look at.
Okay.
The internal people, which is probably your employees, your partners, the people you work together. The external, which is probably your customers, the media, the people outside, that are not inside your business, they're outside, but then basically your customers. Then number 3, the community, the community where you operate. Now, you may say that that's like far-fetched, but let's come to your customers and maybe your employees. So I'll give an example, right? Several years when the dollar was very handsome, right? not now. Several years ago when the dollar was still very handsome, we would do a lot of buying stuff, from different stores. I remember this particular experience that I had, and it changed my perspective completely.
Okay.
So I ordered a particular item, and the item came. I ordered a size 44, and by the time the order came, it was a size 43. Oh, so I just took a picture and sent a mail and said, oh, I ordered size 44, you can check my details here, this is size 43, and in 4 days, I got a replacement.
Oh, wow.
I got a replacement for that order, size 44, and I sent a mail back to say, okay, yeah, thank you for sending it, I still have your 43, what do I do? They said, it's okay, we're happy that you now have your order, please enjoy.
Yeah.
So I got 2 pairs of shoes
For the price of one?
for the price of 1.
Whoa.
I had to give out the...
Was he here in Nigeria?
No, certainly not. I'm going to tell you another experience in Nigeria. I mean, they sent it to me, and it changed my perspective forever. Like, it was, I being the customer was the center of that order. Yes, of that order. It wasn't about them, but they wanted me to have an experience that says, you are the center of this business. We want to make you happy. I can give you tens of of cases like that.
Okay.
All right. So it changed everything. When you're starting out a business, think about the customer first. Like, think about the customer and walk back. Like, people are looking for experience. See, they said, I used to say something. Price or cost is something you will forget long after you have bought an item. True. But what you will never forget is the quality.
Yeah,
how it served you. Yes, how it made you feel, the experience.
Yes.
I just told you a story of maybe 7 years ago.
But still remember
it's still here.
So fresh.
I've never forgot it because it gave me an experience. Come back home. Now, I'm not trying to say everybody here is bad, but I had an experience here, and I'm saying this so that we don't do this. And this is a pretty recent, like 2 years ago or thereabout.
All right.
I placed an order. It was in Surulere. So I pick up. I drove from Ikeja to Surulere to pick this. The vendor said, come at 2. I said, okay, that's fine. I'll come at 2 and I'll pick it. 10 minutes to 2, I go, no. I even called and said, oh, I'm on my way. I said, oh, sorry, it's not ready. Can you wait till 4? So I said, okay, that's fine. So I was doing other stuff. When it was 4, I drove straight to Surulere, only for me to get to the place, and the vendor said, oh, we're sorry, it's not ready, you're not going to get it. I'm like, what's going on here? And he says, okay, you know what, we're going to send it to you tomorrow, and just to make you feel good, we can split the delivery fee half.
Why do you even have to pay when you're actually driven down all the way?
Justin, please help me. So I'm here, and I'm like, I drove all the way, and then you're telling me about splitting the delivery fee. That was the last time I ever went to that vendor. That's what happens. So you think you're making business, oh, I can't lose that delivery fee because I can't eat into my own profit. But then you're losing people.
You're losing customers. Yeah.
You're losing customers. So that's what we're saying here. We think ESG and social impact is about going to a community and donating hundreds of millions. When you're that big, you can do all of that. But it begins from how you make people around the business feel. From people that you work together, to that delivery guy that works for you, to that customer that has bought your stuff. That's where it starts from. What experience do you give them? Here's what I always say. Before you think of profit, think of people. Before you think of volume, think of value. Before you think of transactions, think of transformation. How do you want to transform this person's life? How do you want to make this person's life better? Do you understand me? Before you think of short-term gains, think about long-term sustainability. How do you make an impact in the life of this person? Before you think of what product should I do, think about what problem do you want to solve.
Which brings me to how small businesses can indeed craft an effective social impact statement. You talked about what problems you want to solve. For instance, now you've talked about the internal and external. Let's talk about community. You know, in as much as you can do a little that can go a very long way. So how do you make this a conscious statement in your business, in your operation, so that way at every point in time, you're actually reaching out to the people?
Absolutely. So everything starts with the mind.
And
that's why I said there has to be a mind shift. First of all, when you're starting out, realize that in your mind, you are trying to create value. You are trying to solve problems. And then by doing that, you're going to get paid. It's commercializing solution, not ripping people off. So it's possible that you have a product. You and I can have a product. I can decide, maybe the cost of the product is 10 naira. You can decide to sell your own 1,000. I can decide to sell my own 10,000. Why? Because I want to make more money than you are making. Especially if I find people around me that can buy. That's not a problem. I'm not even going to talk about the marketing mix and everything, all those price. No, that's not what we're talking about here. But what we are saying is when all of that has been put in place, it should sit on a bedrock. And that bedrock should be value creation. Now, if you're bringing people, we talked about internal people. If you're bringing people to work with you, the first thing is, as this person is bringing value to this organization, what value are we giving back to this person? That's most important, because at the end of the day, you will realize that people who have somewhere to go, people who are value driven, who know why they are in the business in the first place, they won't be able to stay, because 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, they can't find any value that has been added to them. And value is not when you send them to Harvard. It's not always like that. Typically is just giving somebody a listening ear, let them feel like they have a say, no matter the level. Let them feel like they have a say. Let them feel like they are valued, they are appreciated, whatever it is. It happens a lot here when you get into an organization and you realize shortly after you're in that people that are even lower than you are earning more than you. It happens. So how do you think that kind of employee will feel? So that's not social impact. The morale of that kind of employee will drop
completely,
and that's how it works. So let's even leave that. Let's come to individuals. When you're setting out, please think of value first. Look at they usually say that when you have challenges, that the best place to prosper is where there are challenges. So it means that you look at the challenges and you find solutions. And when you bring that to a solution, you commercialize it. You say, oh, I can do this for you, but then this is what I get in return. And then everybody's happy. If you give me value, I don't have a problem paying for it. I will. And then that's how you make money. But then we are thinking of the money first and not the value. Yes. Organizations are thinking, oh, how can I get somebody, pay the person 50,000 to do a 5 million job? But then at the end of the day, 3 months down the line, that person is disgruntled and he wants to leave. Then you start the process all over again. That's how we lose time and resources.
Okay, let's paint a typical scenario here now for everyday solutions.
Right.
Now, for a small business, let's just imagine maybe a pure water factory who provides some water to some small community, or maybe a local bakery.
Right.
And that particular firm is thinking, or the business is thinking of, okay, just how do I add value to the community? What kind of advice would you give to them?
Thank you. I like that example, pure water business.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you create value. People can't do without water. So you produce water. You sell water, which is fine. People will buy. You will make money. But do you know that there are people in that community, especially when there's no power, who won't have water?
True.
Because they can't pump water. But how about you look at a particular day where you can allow people to come and fetch
water for free.
Fresh water for free. You're adding to the community. But you know that if you do that one day, it doesn't affect your profit really.
Not at all.
It's just you giving back to the community. It's just you giving back to the people that pay you. So you look at, there was something that happened. You know that this example that I gave you of what happened when I bought a shoe, do you know I replicated it?
Okay.
When I published my first book, there was somebody from Oshogo who sent me a message and said he wanted a copy. So I went to a certain dispatch organization and I sent it to him in Oshogo. Something happened, 3 days he didn't get it. So he sends me a message and he says, oh, I didn't get my book. And my friend is a lawyer. I'm going to sue you. I'm like, calm down. It's not that deep now. It's just a book. However, I understand. But all I did in that conversation was to say, we're so sorry. Something happened with the logistics company, but we'll make it up to you and all of that. So I drove to the park. I took his address and I drove to the park myself. And I sent him another copy. FOC.
Wow.
Sent him another copy. He got my own copy today. The one for that logistics, after the issue that happened,
Finally got it.
finally got there the following day. So he reached out to me and says, oh, I have 2 copies. What do I do? I said, no, by all means, please. If you have any friend or someone, you can gift the person.
Yeah.
He was surprised. Every single book I've written after that, this man has got a copy.
Wow.
He reaches out to me and says, please, when you write the next book, please send to me. I'm always here. It's about an experience. What did that do? It showed him that I wasn't about the money. I was about him having value for what he has paid for. And that moved him from a lead to an advocate to, the marketing funnel.
Yeah.
When you start from awareness, the bottom is loyalty.
Loyalty, yeah.
You begin to build loyalty with people that work with you, with your customers that buy your product, with the community where you do your business. So whatever you do, there is always something to give back.
True.
I always say, whatever you do with 5,000 is what you would do with 50 million.
Invariably, everyone has a capacity.
Yes. Now don't wait until you start grossing 100 million. If you don't start with 50,000, you're never going to do it at 100 million. Never. So it's a mindset. It's a culture. If you don't have the culture of giving back, somebody called you and says, oh, I saw a business somewhere, or somebody is trying to do something, I know you can do it. And they give you the business. And then you made money. You did the business, right? And then you made money. And so the person that called you and gave you the business, how about you just call the person and give the person something? Giving is just recharge card. It's a culture. We build, a lot of times we don't have that give back culture. That's the issue.
Even scripturally, the Bible would say a man's gift makes a way for him.
Exactly. So it's a culture. It makes way for you. People know that you do stuff, and then they've called you. The person that has called you deserves something, no matter how small.
True.
No matter how small. And what the call I'm making this morning is a paradigm shift from, and I'm calling especially young people who want to go into business, no matter what it is you want to do. Do not start with, I want to break even.
I want to blow.
I want to blow in 6 months. I want to blow. Well, nobody blows in business in 6 months away, except you have some fraudulent stuff that you're doing underneath. Start with the mindset of creating value. When you do that, profits, money chase you pants down because you move people. They're not people buy stuff out of emotions. They use sentiments to buy things.
True. I agree.
And the experience that you have given them, they will never forget it. And they can always go back to the store to pick that product that gave them the best experience. And that's the truth.
Sometimes even when they don't need it.
Even when they don't need it. Do you think it's everybody that's carrying an iPhone that knows all the features on the iPhone? No. iPhone gives you an experience. It's the truth.
All right. Well, we are practically almost out of time now. But then I just want like a summary, a last word for a business who is managing, our economic challenge. And what can he take out of all of this as we round off?
A business that is managing, right, can take something. And this is what I wanted to take. It's what I said earlier. Whatever you do with little, he who is faithful in little
is faithful in much.
Faithful in much. If you're struggling, maybe right now you're struggling, you're not making all the profit. Look at how you can impact the people around you, the people that work with you, or that particular customer that has made that purchase, or is not satisfied, and he didn't get value for what he bought. He wouldn't cost you so much to make that one customer happy, because you never know what that one customer will bring to you.
Thank you.
I said, here's my final word. Right? Everyone around you deserves to be given the right experience. Just show that you value them. Your friends, your family, your customers, your employees, everyone around you, show that you value them. Show that you're not about the money they want to pay. You're about giving them value, giving them an experience, making them feel special. If you go that route, if you build a business on that foundation, you would realize that referrals will just come to you naturally. And that's where I want everyone who is trying to go into business or who's already in business and trying to scale. That's what I want you to take home from this conversation.
All right, thank you so much, Olaoto. You couldn't have said it, but we just have to put a human face to almost everything we do day to day.
Yes, that's it.
Well, I have been speaking with Olaoto Fawimi. He is a marketing communication expert, and we've been looking about doing business with humanity. Many thanks once again.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you so much.
All right, indeed, that's the size of the show for today. I am Justin Akadonyo. See you again next time. Bye for now.